Do you know that as a dietitian and other allied healthcare professionals, you can move from your home country to Ireland? Get your recognition, get your qualification recognized, applied, and get your registration and your license to practice here. Move with your family directly when you're leaving down to Ireland from the get-go. Now, there are lists of healthcare professionals who are under this directives that I'm mentioning, and I'm going to be listing them out right now. So I have my laptop here, which is why I'm looking down here. If you see me do that, I'm not ignoring you. So there are dietitians, dispensing opticians, medical scientists, or what you call medical laboratory scientists, occupational therapists, optometrists, physiotherapists, podiatrists, and chiropodists, radiographers and radiation therapists, social workers, social care workers, speech and language therapists. So if your profession falls under those ones I just listed out, then you are on the right channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can go about your application, get your qualification recognized, get your registration done right from the comfort of your home country. Now, if today is your first time coming across my channel, my name is Ndueso. I make videos like this with nurses and every other healthcare professionals that wants to migrate to Ireland and any country of your choice. So kindly subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notification bell so that when next I post a video just like this one, you'll be the first person to know. So without further ado or wasting any of your time, I'm going to go straight into the video. Now, before you can be able to practice in any country, in any profession, remember what defines a profession is that it is a regulatory body. Now, all you need to do is you have to get the qualification. Now, these are the eligibility criteria. The first thing is that you must hold a qualification that allows you to practice in your profession in your home country before you even think of moving to Ireland. So if you're a dietitian, if you're a medical laboratory scientist, you have to go to school, the university, to study this course for 4 years, and then you get the license to be able to practice in your home country. The next eligibility criteria is that you must be eligible to be registered onto your profession. Of course, if you go to school, at the end of your education, you should be able to be registered with the profession in your home country. With these two, then you are good to go. You are ready to be registered in Ireland. Now, what are the steps? There are just two major steps. The first step is you having your qualification assessed and recognized by CORU. And the next step is to complete the registration process. Now, what do you need? Before you do this, you have to go online and create an account. In my next video, I'm going to be showing you the practical steps on how to do this. But let me just give you a brief and detailed summary of how this application goes on. So you go online and create an account. They will ask you details of some personal information and your qualification and practice information you fill on there. These things are done online, which is why you do not need to travel to Ireland to do anything at the first instance. Then for your recognition of qualification, you need to have some documents. Remember, I said the first step is apply online, and there is an application fee. Before I forget, the application fee is 410 euro. Chicken money, 410 euro. So if you are in Nigeria, 410 euro as at today, I'm going to put it here. This is the value for today. So and then the registration fee is going to be 100 euro, making it a total of 510 euro. As at today that I'm making this video, 510 euro is not up to a million naira. Now, what are the documents that you need to upload? The documents are your qualification. That's you need your certificate, your practice placement, your internships, your employment history, membership of professional bodies, and any continuous development programs that you have done. You need to submit all of that. So let's go into details about all of them. The first thing is the primary qualification certificate. For example, if you're a dietitian or you're a medical laboratory scientist, so the certificate that was given to you by your university when you graduated, that's the certificate I'm talking about. You're going to get this certificate certified by a recognized body. It could be a notary body, a commissioner for oath, a notary public, and a commissioner for oath, and then police and some other I'm going to list them down here for you to see. Those are the bodies that are allowed to certify any document. And what does certification mean? Certification means just you taking the original document to them. They look at it, they say this is the original document, and they write on the photocopy that you're going to give to them that they have seen that this is the same exact copy as the original. So they will write, they put their name, put their address, put their profession and their contact details just in case they need to be contacted. The next document is your qualification transcript. So you're going to go to your school. You're going to go to your school and get your transcript. And then this transcript will have to be broken down in theoretical and practice hours. Okay? And then you're going to get a syllabus. So these two go side by side. When you have the syllabus, you have the transcript. And then they're going to look through these two because they have the standard of practice happening here in Ireland that has to be the same thing as the one that you get in your home country. These two documents also need to be certified. Next is your practice placement information. So this includes things like your internships, your clinical practices that you have done. So you have to make sure that the goal or the tip in all of this is that you gather all the necessary documents as you can from the get-go so that you do not get delayed during the process. Now, before I even forget, this thing can happen within the period of 4 months. They are giving you 4 months. In 4 months, they will give you a decision of your obligation if you gather your document accordingly. Now, when you get all of that, then you get a competent authority verification from your home country. This simply means that if you're a dietitian, if you're a medical laboratory scientist, and all other ones that I mentioned previously, you're going to go to your board of regulation. Let's say, I don't know what it is called in your home country, in Nigeria, Ghana, wherever you're watching me from. So you're going to go to them. Maybe some boards who the verification process could be online. You just sit on your home and apply. The same way you renew your license. So those people you renew your license from, they are the people you're going to let them know. They would send this information directly to the CORU, telling them that you are a registered dietitian, laboratory technician, a medical laboratory scientist, of course, and all other ones that I mentioned previously. And they are going to say that you do not have any outstanding disciplinary action going on. Your license is full, is current and active. That is just the information. When you go to your board, they know all the information that needs to be included in that verification, because that is why they are a board. There are like primarily 3 documents that you need to certify, which I mentioned are your transcript, syllabus, and then your certificate. And then for verification, there has to be practice placement, which will be signed and stamped by your school. You know, when you are in school and you go for practice placement, or I don't know how you call it in your school, then your school needs to verify that and let the board know that you were going for practice placement. During your internship, you need to get the hospital to do that. And then I think internship is also in conjunction with the university. So they are going to verify this as well. Then your work experience, your hospital has to also verify, or your employer has to also verify that you are currently practicing in that field. Okay, and then for those are verifications and what you are going to be certifying. All right, now let's move forward. Now, like I said, one of those things you're going to submit to them is your internship qualification. If you have completed an internship as part of your qualification, you can provide details with your application. Now remember, the aim in this is to gather as much evidence of your practice as possible. The more evidence you give to them, the more easier it is for them to assess your application. The more easier it is for them to say, okay, you are automatically qualified to practice without having to do the compensation measures. Let's continue. Please keep on watching. You're going to also submit evidence of continuous professional development. I hope you were writing them down. This is like the 7th thing I have mentioned. Let me rephrase it again because I want you to follow me on this video. By the time you are done watching this video, I want you to be able to understand everything. And if you need a one-on-one guide, I am going to be there to guide you through. It's just going to be a token, a little token that I will tell you. I'll guide you through how to gather all your documents and submit to them. Now, this is the 7th one. The first thing I mentioned was your primary qualification, your transcript, your syllabus, your placement practice, and then your internship qualification, then evidence of continuous professional development. You know, when you are still practicing and then you have like some programs to attend, you know, they say there is an ongoing program, there is an ongoing seminar, workshops. Gather all of those things because you might have qualified about 10 years ago. The standard of practice then was different from what it is now. It's not the same way we used to care for people back then that we are doing now. So they want to be sure that you are continuously updating your knowledge, which is why you need to gather these things and submit to them, that you are not just there for sake. Employment history. Include employment experience you wish to have considered as part of your application. You must ask your employer to sign and stamp a form detailing your most recent employment. Self-employment can also be used. You know, like for people like medical laboratory scientists, that most times if they don't have a job in the hospital, they go into private practice or they open their own lab and then start running their own lab. This can also be an evidence as well. But so if you are working for somebody or for government, then they have to do this for you. Next is secondary qualification. If you have another qualification you wish to be considered as part of your application, let's say you finish your undergraduate degree and then after that you went ahead to do your master's, please submit it. You went ahead to do like a what is it called, after a postgraduate diploma that is still relating to your field, please, you have to submit all of these things. Now, yes, I'm coming. Why do they need all this documentation? Providing additional information upfront saves time. You may be asked to provide additional information during assessment of your qualification. At this stage, there will be a time limit on providing it. This type of information can include, for example, professional experience after graduation, any internship undertaken, formal learning, additional courses of study, continuous professional development. So this documentation they're asking you for lifelong learning is what is going to, like I explained previously, I don't want to keep repeating it so the video will not be so long. So there are tips here and there for you to avoid delay. Like I said, you can get all these things done in 4 months period, but what is going to delay you if you do not provide the necessary documentation at first, and then they'll have to come back to you. So remember, CORU is like a body that governs different. So dietitian has dietitian registration board, there is medical scientist registration board, and all other boards like I mentioned under CORU. So these boards comes in every 6 weeks to do a meeting. So let's say you've submitted your application and there is something that they need to ask. you will have to wait till 6 weeks before they even come to ask them, oh, this person did not submit this, and then Koru will now get back to you, and you know that time is going to be long, which is why, in case I said you need personal guidance, I can guide you through, so that you make sure that you have gathered the necessary documentation before you submit your application. Now, there are like behind the scenes or like different steps that your process goes through. These are: your file is complete. So when they say your file is complete, means that you have submitted all the necessary documents. Your application is assessed by experts. So you could see that your status can change to this level. It means that they are assessing your qualification. If there are deficits identified, you may be asked for further information, like I said, so you need to provide it, and this will kind of delay your process. But if you give them everything at once, but don't panic if you get any email from them telling you to submit additional qualification. There's nothing there, or additional information to clarify anything. There's nothing there. You just need to respond to them within the time frame they are going to give you. And then at the end, there would be a decision issued to you. And what are these decisions? There are 3 basically. The first thing, which is the one we are hoping for, the one this person I'm talking about got, is recognition. It means that your experience, your education, your practice is the same as what somebody who studied here in Ireland or the EU has gotten. So automatically you are recognized. You can then proceed from this stage to the registration stage, which is when you're going to pay the remaining €100. Remember, recognition fee is €410. So the registration is going to be €100. You could also get a decision that says compensation measure, which means that there are some deficits. So what you've gotten is okay, but not completely in compliance with what we are looking for, which is why we are offering you an opportunity to come and make up for the deficit. So for the compensation measure, I will explain that just after the third one. The next decision you could get is outright refusal. When they look at your application and then they see that it is not in any way comparable to what someone that should practice as a dietitian, medical laboratory scientist, etc. should get, they are going to refuse. And this could happen for many reasons. The most important one is that if you do not submit the necessary documentation and what they are working with, because it's what you give them they are going to use to work with, what they are working with is not what they can decipher, then they will just refuse you. Now back to the second one, which some people may get it if you do not give them enough thing to be able to give you automatic recognition, and then you move to registration. Compensation measure are 2 types. They could either be aptitude test or a period of adaptation. So if it is, now you have the choice to choose between these 2. What is aptitude test? Just like the name implies, it is an exam. So from what I understand on their website, this exam I think is going to be done in your home country or any country that they might want you to go and do. Now, what will happen is when you've confirmed to them that you are okay with doing the aptitude test, they are going to refer you to the people who is going to arrange the aptitude test for you. So from that on, they are going to be leading you. You are not going to be alone at all. Then if you choose to do a period of adaptation, it must be in Ireland, where you are going to be working supervised with somebody who is already a registered professional in that your same field. And that means that you need to arrange for visa if you are from a country like us that needs visa to enter into Ireland. And before I forget, remember, when you are gathering your documents, you need to be careful of name variations, date variations, misinformations here and there, not certifying correctly, because all these things will negatively impact on your application. The cost of the aptitude test is €500. For the do's and don'ts, these are the things I'm going to let you know. Make sure you give all the documentation. Make sure that you use pronouns like I when it comes to declaration. Now, registration and recognition is done almost like the same time, because the same document that you're submitting is almost the same document you're submitting during your registration. During your registration, you're submitting documents like a statutory declaration of your profession, proof of ID, photos, and then police clearance from all the countries that you've lived for up to 1 year. And then there are like fit and proper questions that are going to give you to answer. Remember, I said at this point they are the ones leading you on, so you're not going to be alone. They are going to be showing you all of these things. And then someone might ask, do I need to give proof of English? Yes, because this is an English speaking country, and there are many ways that you can give proof of English to them. They accept the fact that if you were studying in English, you could provide that. And for people that are studying like country like Nigeria, Ghana, where everything is done in English, you could get your school to write a letter to that effect, and of course your transcript already and everything is in English, so they could accept that. They could also accept the fact that you have practiced in a country that you're speaking in English for a long time, like 2 years. They will accept that. They could also accept you writing an English exam, so you can write either the IELTS or the OET. So there are a little bit of variations to different professions, but for the dietitian, the IELTS requirement there is overall band score of 7 and 6.5, minimum of 6.5 in each of the modules. I believe that if you've watched up to this point, you're so much like this video. Please kindly give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share my videos to many people as you can, so that they can come and learn of this good news. I'm also going to be making a continuation to answer any question that you have. So if you have any questions, kindly drop them in the comment and I will get back to you. Okay, for now, bye bye.